Welcome, everybody. This is episode 6 of the Lookout Podcast, the 6th out of the 6 series of this Tournament of Power series. We've been doing this entire week. I'm here, Meelz. You got Jeff here in the building.
Yes, I am here.
And we have none other than OG Johnny 5, Justin Davis, our resident. What do we say, resident? Like in terms of this Lookout Podcast, how do you feel, Justin? What do you feel like being referred to as?
I'm Beerus.
Oh God, I am Beerus.
Beerus. That's what I am. Beerus of RNC. So I'm Beerus on this podcast.
My guy loves a good meal.
Yeah, and gains no weight.
Gains no weight. Listen, my man is Beerus 100%. Yes, we are back.
Deceptively powerful. Also.
Oh, God.
And who would be Whis? Whis?
Whis would be.
It has to be Josh Pease.
It'd be Ty. Nah, Josh is not Whis. Josh is fucking Yamcha.
Oh my God! If he only knew what that meant. This is very y'all's world for him.
He's not gonna care about that at all.
He's not. But we are back, episode 6. Entire week in a row of just going through this Tournament of Power. We did it all last week. This is the sort of finale that comes out. You know, we're recording this 24 hours after the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. I don't know.
Tremendous final episode of Dragon Ball Super.
131.
Listen,
lots of stuff happened.
I don't see how Issa Rae can get 40 minutes for the 45 minutes for the finale of Insecure, and we can't get like 34, 33.
No, that was definitely disappointing. The way that it happened, it was fairly fast because the battle was over, and then you got to just go through the celebration part of it and what's going on. It
felt kind of rushed, to be honest.
Two credit sequences.
Yeah. I mean, not that it wasn't nice. Like, I thought it was a nice, corny touch and all that, but like, it worked. I ended up watching GT's last episode over again just so I could be like, man, what? Let me see what he's talking about.
We got to have the GT conversation. We got to have and that's what I'm going to call that episode, the GT conversation, because this is what we've been talking about since pretty much this end of Super, and just like how Justin's thoughts on how just the Super is making up for GT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we'll get into that during the show, but like, even if you compare this ending to GT's ending, like GT's ending was final. It was literally like, there is no coming back from this.
It was terrible. Dead. It was terrible too.
Yeah, like he's gone, and then he's going to come back out of nowhere in a really cliche, weird 100 years later, jump forward in time. But this one is sort of like the ending of Super was sort of like, hey, this is just the season finale.
Yeah, I think they got tired of all the tweets. It's ending. Yeah. They were like, listen, we will be back. Just calm down. Everybody chill out for a little while. We'll be back.
I think they like that. I think they like the intrigue. I think they like making people think that it's going to be over, and then just bombasting them with some news or something like that, or just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, episode 131, the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. It starts off the same way the last episode ended off. Goku is out of commission, seemingly. Well, if we know Goku is never really fully out of commission.
I'm hoping there will be a better explanation as to the power drain that happens on Ultra Instinct, where it's like, this looked like he was dead.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're gonna touch on that shit ever again, dude.
Nah, but Whis has always said like Ultra Instinct takes like a massive amount of stamina away from you. Like he said that before he turned Ultra Instinct in like episode 129 or something. Like he said that by the time someone turns out by the time Goku transforms from Ultra Instinct again, the fight will be over. Like there's no way.
He already knew. Like this was.
Yeah, either he's going to win or he's going to lose. But there's like no way. But it's the past 2 times it's pretty much shown that when you turn from Ultra Instinct, you lose a lot of stamina. It takes a lot of stamina to be able to be like super OP, and like.
And they touch on it a bit at the end. When him and Vegeta were speaking.
but we get the shot of now it's Frieza and Android 17, both looking, quite haggard in the last, just the last look of it all. But they go up against Jiren, and Jiren, I don't know, Jiren is a shell of himself as opposed to what we've seen over the last few episodes, because he's not at full strength anymore. It doesn't appear he's at full strength. Goku really beat the wallop out of him. Like, he really like beat the bricks off of him. And we get Android 17 and Frieza running up on Jiren, and they put up a pretty good fight. It's a pretty good combination. Android 17, until Jiren decides, I'm going to throw this one final blast, and then Goku shows up. Goku summons the strength. I have no idea how. Everyone's wondering how he's standing. Everyone wondering. They have this like long 3 minutes.
He had gotten up. He got up, but this was a quicker get up from like the time he did Ultra Instinct the first time. What, like 3 minutes had maybe passed
right.
since the first time he had done it.
Got this up quick.
This was like, I'm assuming 15 seconds he got back up.
Yeah, it was literally,
I heard him screaming on the floor, and then like all of a sudden he was up in the middle between 18 and Frieza. 17 and Frieza.
Yeah.
They did this thing in the last 3 episodes where they did not acknowledge the time. And the way this ended, I think it's a good idea that it didn't end depending on time, because I think that's what a few people were predicting, that, time was eventually going to run out.
Yeah.
And it was going to be Universe 7, 3 or 2 people, and Universe, 11 with 1 person, and it's going to be kind of a cop-out. But we get this moment between Frieza and Goku working together. And it's the most sanctimonious moment of the entire.
Yeah,
it has to be the entire series, of entire Dragon Ball, just from the sheer history of Goku and Frieza.
And that's the biggest callback of them all, because I'd say that even besides Cell or Buu, like Frieza was the de facto villain of Z. Like he had a really long arc, and he had the biggest history with Vegeta and Goku, so it was only fitting that he be the guy that kind of turn that worked on.
Yeah, and it makes it. They also made it a lot easier just to love him for a minute. It was just like one of those things, that the moment where he's talking to Goku and he's like, "You're gonna keep your promise," and Goku's like, "Are you gonna keep your promise?" And Frieza's just like, "All right, then, well, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do."
And Frieza begrudgingly does it.
Yeah, but he did it though.
It's genius, because he was wheeling and dealing his way throughout these past 30 episodes, where it's like he's making up alliances, and then you never know what side he's on, and he disappeared for like 5 whole episodes, and you don't know where he is, and then he shows up when it counts. And he always said that he would show up when it counts, and I'll be damned if he didn't do that at the end here.
I think he gets off on that. I literally think he gets off of just fucking with people, because that's what I think. For as much, even in the final moments, he's just like, "Are you sure you can trust?" Like, even in the final, like, everyone's in the heat of the battle, and he's there making jokes. He's there at some point during this entire battle. Frieza and Android 17, this is before Goku shows up, gets the best of Jiren, and Jiren is just so defeated, and Frieza's just talking that shit,
just
man.
Killing him, bro. He was just killing him.
He's just like, "And your mother," and all this. Nah, you didn't say that.
Barred him up. He basically was like, "Yo, you're weak. Like,
you ain't gonna look at me."
Yeah, like,
look at me while I do this.
This is what you've become. Like, you're not really. And he was right. Like,
he was right.
But
Jiren was talking shit the whole time, so you already know, like, this was warranted.
And I think it was even funnier that Jiren. I think he met his match in a villain in Frieza. I think that is the guy that he, more than anyone, he probably would have the toughest time with if it had been a different circumstances, and Frieza could have killed him.
Well,
yeah, I'm with that.
I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like Jiren's biggest villain is like his trust issues, which is weird. It's weird to say. Like,
and Frieza can play on that.
Right. But I also think just like his biggest enemy wasn't necessarily like, I don't think he has like someone that like a ultimate enemy like Goku has with Frieza, or
not that we know of.
I think he just has like himself, like, and at the end it was himself that kind of did himself dirty. It was his lack of trust in the people around him. Maybe if he helped out Toppo a little bit, he would have gotten, Toppo would have been around longer. Maybe he would have, instead of calling him pathetic, maybe if he depended on people the way Goku did, and we see that for a few moments, because when Jiren eventually does power back up, it's because of the trust that all his team members sort of put in him and instill in him. Toppo has this long just speech about like, are you going to go out this pathetic? Are you going to go out like this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it eventually gives him strength to continue going on forward. And I think following,
even though Jiren basically like calls Toppo a bitch and just like,
well, even right. I'm saying even after that, Jiren really doesn't show much respect through that situation
for anyone. For anyone,
so it's like,
other than like the last seconds.
I mean, it looked like it was his battle to lose.
Yeah,
so
I think he still felt that. I still think he felt like the entire weight of the shoulders, and I'm not like, I think this is one of the reasons why, and we talked about this last episode, that Jiren is not a villain. I think he's just not a villain, just basically because he just has a lot of baggage that I think he's sort of working through. And I think maybe as the series goes on, maybe as whatever the next step in this is, we'll get to continue to unfold that a little bit. I feel like it's kind of like if you watch old WWF, it's kind of like Kane or something, like Kane, this unstoppable monster. And then he was sort of like, his edges were sort of like smoothened out a little bit as he got into contact, began trusting people and all of that. I feel like that's really the crux of Jiren. It's just this monster that eventually learns to trust people. And,
and even as we described that, that's not really how it went for him since he was introduced.
Yeah, facts. Because I mean, I don't really see him as an antagonist, but like just some of the things that he did. Some of the things that he just tried to do in battle, it just seemed real evil, even though he fought for justice, quote unquote. And then at the end, we realized he's really not fighting for anybody but himself. So, strength and all that.
Can we talk about Jiren just for a second?
Let's talk about Jiren.
I mean, I'm willing to really like. He's just, come on, man.
I felt, and I'm super like. And mind you, I've binged this show in the past 2 weeks. Like just talk
about your journey of binging this entire.
That journey has been a long one.
I caught up, and I think a lot of the impetus of the conversations we've been having is because I started binging this show from when did I stopped at Black, and then I
that's what you told me.
And I'm waiting to see and hear about this guy, and there isn't much development there, and I think that's the biggest problem I have with Jiren, is that he is not a character. He's a plot device, and he's only used to bring out the kind of like the big crux of the story. Is that the biggest thing that Jiren did was he gave Vegeta a moment, he gave Goku a moment, he gave 17 a moment. But his moment himself, when he got his own moment to actually show himself, it wasn't really written or explained in the correct manner for me. I felt like Jiren was a weak, even though he's not a evil person as an antagonist, he was not the strongest. And I think of all of the arcs in Dragon Ball Super, he might have been the weakest to me. He's just like, we're not even given an explanation as to why or what he can do or how he's just given these different forms. He can get buff, or he can get, really mad and shit like that.
But I think a lot of that too. I mean, I think they're saving a lot of Jiren for whatever they have planned in the future.
If they plan to go on with him at least. But,
I'm only going off context that they left in this last episode on 130,
right?
So I'm assuming he will be back at some point in some fashion, like fighting Goku, right? But whatever that means, maybe him and Toppo come back with a better relationship. Maybe he unlocks something else. But yeah, I definitely wish that, although they did gather a lot of characters and it was cool. We got a lot of different designs. Some designs worked, some designs didn't.
A lot of them didn't.
Yeah, right. But I know I like character development, and for somebody like Jiren, he should have had way more character development.
For him to be going toe to toe with literally everyone. And it's the same issue I had with I call them the Scooby Squad, saying like Abba and all of them. Like
their picture's their picture's gonna be way bigger. See, I mean, I definitely understand as far as like the Universe 6 sayings, but like I just feel like their picture is going to be way bigger. They probably have a whole saga just for that. You know, Vegeta going to Sadala
Sadala.
and all that. Yeah, like I think that's just a whole nother thing. They probably didn't want to give too much of that away, but I mean, I definitely understand the Jiren stuff is just like I always told you guys. The manga's probably going to display it a lot better, but even then, who knows what
Oh,
we might
the
get?
manga hasn't caught up yet, has it?
Nah, not quite, not quite.
Wow.
And I think one of the main reasons why we don't get that full rollout for Jiren is I think this is the first time in the series, at least the first time in a long time, probably since Dragon Ball, that the I guess the main, antagonist of it wasn't someone who was explored just solely throughout an entire arc. Like we don't have a Frieza arc where we get the, the nooks and crannies of Frieza. We don't have the Android Cell saga where you learn every complete detail about Cell. And there are like 3 other cells and like everyone has motivations. Even the Boo saga, you see the transformation of Boo. You get to love you in the beginning, Boo's evil, you learn to love Boo, you learn to hate Boo all over again, you learn to do all that. With Jiren, I think just because of this tournament of power, it couldn't be solely focused on him. I think if they decided, okay, Jiren is gonna be the main antagonist for these next 30 episodes, like it was with Zamasu or it was with Goku Black, then I think we may have gotten that. But I think this is just basically the introduction to Jiren. That's what
hey, I hear that, dude, but they made him so OP to the point where you expect so much more out of his character, and that's the only reason I was right. That was the only reason I had an issue with it, is because like if you're gonna make someone that strong, it's like, we better know what his parents look like. Even I'm trying to know everything.
One thing this franchise does is like the one. What is the one thing that they do whenever you want someone to feel like they could really be a world beater? They kill everyone on Earth. On every single series of Dragon Ball, they kill everyone. Jiren doesn't get a chance to have that break, and I applaud them for doing that. But he doesn't have a moment where it's like, you underhanded cheater. Where it's like we're supposed to hate you. So it's like a lot of people will be ambivalent to really whether they like or dislike Jiren because he doesn't. He's gray. He's literally gray.
He had a few weird moments where you're kind of like, that was kind of weak, but like there's no straight malicious Jiren moment that's like, I'm with you. I don't see that either.
Moving on sort of from that, I think what we see afterwards is Goku and Frieza decide to team up, and they said, 17, take the background, not necessarily take the background, but back us up. And we get this amazing sequence, and I love the animation. I love the moves. I love that, Android 17 is shooting lasers and they're running, and it's like it hits Jiren midair.
I said oh shit during that moment. I popped.
Yeah, I popped huge.
Yeah. I was pretty lit, man. I just all the fights that Frieza and Goku have had, I just feel like it all just came together. They just bonded so well. It was so strange, but it just worked.
Vegeta's jaw dropping at this moment.
Vegeta thinks that Goku is a coon at this point, because that is some wild shit.
Could it have ever been Vegeta at this point? Could it have been Vegeta?
No way, bro. Vegeta would have already socked him out.
If we see Vegeta, Frieza, and 17 at the end, does it end the same way for Universe 7?
No. Could you imagine Frieza saying, "Vegeta, throw me"? What would Vegeta look? Vegeta probably look at that like,
he would throw a Final Flash at him, dog. He would not throw him.
He's not accepting that, bro.
Oh my god!
Doesn't work without Goku, man.
Who knows? It's the new Vegeta. He's doing a lot of things he never thought he would do, like 40 years ago.
I don't think Frieza ain't involved in that, man. I can't see that, man.
Goku throws Frieza. It's this amazing moment where Frieza, blasts forward, grabs onto Jiren. It looks like they're about to fly off. Jiren falls. He manages to keep his ground. Goku grabs him. There's this entire thing of just like both of them teaming up. A sequence, a great sequence of moves, moves in unison, them hitting the same moves, and then it's over. It's a Goku and Frieza power up to whatever power they have left. I'm pretty sure they use the last ounce of strength in them.
He was like Super Saiyan 1. It looked
like
And
Facts.
it was still blinking out. I don't know if you guys noticed, like it was blinking in and
No,
out. And
yeah, I saw that. That was a really nice touch, actually. I noticed
yeah,
that.
he
It's
couldn't.
all about Saiyans pushing themselves to the limit,
Hmm.
Yeah,
and I guess
and
Frieza too.
so essentially, Frieza and Goku sacrifice themselves
So
to
that 17 could win,
the
and the
17.
universe could be saved.
Well, more so
And
for Universe 7 to win.
yeah,
There you
and
go.
what did
Yeah.
you guys? I know you guys both read the spoilers, the supposed spoilers, and a lot of people.
You're right.
And neither of this episode spoilers worked out the same way that we thought they would. But what did you think about the actual way that it played out?
I,
So I in terms of me, I didn't read the 131 spoilers. I read well,
Same.
I knew Frieza was coming back. I knew Frieza, so I know the 130 spoilers. I definitely knew that. But oh yeah,
But
well,
I
in
didn't
terms
know
of
even the 130 spoilers.
131 said Frieza was going to win.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
said Frieza was going to win. I'm bugging because they were all the same spoilers. 131 said Frieza was going to win, and I thought that would have been an intriguing ending. I thought it would have been an intriguing ending just based on everything that's happened.
based on what happens after they win.
Yeah, I thought it would have been like, and just I was so. I think this was an appropriate ending for how it all, it just felt good. I don't know if it would have been great if the series was coming back in like June or something or July. You can say that, okay, we have this Frieza thing for now, so you don't leave people hanging for maybe like 3/4 of a year wondering what the hell happens next.
Yeah.
So
I mean, listen, man, I think that's the best. They ended it the best way that it absolutely could have ended. I mean, I kind of always knew the universes were going to come back one way or another, because and that's just from a character development standpoint. They just announced way too many things for me not to think that they weren't coming back. So all the new Saiyans and even
I mean,
Jiren's
even
universe and Hit
just
and all that.
as a franchise, like Dragon Ball is hotter than it's ever been.
Yeah,
The fighting
it's
game is the most
clear.
fighting game in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's been top 10 in video game sales. Xenoverse
There was
is
no
one.
way, right? There's no
Yeah,
way they're leaving, bro.
it's
It makes
trending
sense.
worldwide
It
last night again.
made zero sense for this to end. And I just think, man, even 17, like his personality, right? Like what he does for a living. And for him to make that wish, such a, just the best wish you could possibly make, to share with the world, share with the universe, share with everything. And he makes it. And I think it all makes sense. I love it.
It's a selfless wish. The Android 17 is left the winner. There's this moment between Frieza and Goku on the stands, and he's like, "Please do not thank me. Don't get don't.
Yeah.
I don't want any thanks. So like, don't get mushy over this."
Mm-hmm.
The Grand Prix shows up as 17's wish, and he says, "I wish that all the universes that were erased in this tournament can come back." And the dragon, who the largest, goldest, whatever dragon,
he looked cool.
He looks awesome. Yeah, that's a good design. Good design.
I think they just wanted to make it bigger than it's like when they think of bigger than Shenron, bigger than the Namek one, it's just bigger and better.
Bigger than Hayes Shenron and Omega Shenron.
Yeah.
Oh my god, please don't come with those.
But this one really looked cool though.
And so all the universes come back. We get this moment. Even Frost is back. I mean, we get the Universe 7 moment. They come back. Universe 2. Everyone is, joyous. Universe 9, Universe 10, Universe 3. God of Destructions are back.
See, that's what I was I was curious about that too. If they were going to be brought back, because I thought that maybe the series may lead to another moment where they're like looking for new gods of destruction or something like that, especially because of the Topo thing. But
or exploring new universes.
Anyway, so.
There's universes that weren't represented in this tournament. I mean, their God of Destructions were there, but they weren't represented in this tournament. There's certainly a lot more to go off of. And then I think from there on, everything gets kind of like light Disney cheesy. Listen, it's like, if you've ever seen like the end of Aladdin, that's how I felt when, Frieza gets his life back.
Yeah, it's very Disney Channel original movie.
It's very definitely. Like, Frieza, how about you be happy too? And then it's like, oh shit, your halo's gone.
But it's a smart touch, I mean, it makes sense. I think at this point, especially J5 just said it. I mean, all the money they're making, Frieza is a national treasure right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
you have
it's
to keep him
great.
alive.
It's great because it goes with the theme of balance, and a lot of these characters in this even in this arc, even all of the teams, they all balance each other in some way. With Vegeta wanting to be better than Goku, and Frieza wanting to not shed his evilness, but kind of learn to be a team player and and honestly that could probably make him a better leader. Who knows? But I think that they brought Frieza back because even in a universe like this, you can't just have all good. You have to have good and evil, and I think Beerus saw that.
I think everyone's happy towards the end. We get in this little montage sequence of everyone getting back to Earth. Everyone's hanging out. Everyone's going back to their normal lives.
Vegeta and Goku are chilling and about to fight again.
They're back on the mountain and it's an epic visual just to see how far Dragon Ball has come back.
Same
just like
pose.
Same area, everything is just high definition graphics now, and they're embarking in this battle. It kind of is like, and we talk about GT, it's kind of like a callback to the end of GT where we saw Vegeta Jr. and Goku Jr. fighting at the end. It's kind of a callback to the beginning of Dragon Ball Z where we saw the Vegeta and Goku, and we didn't know that Vegeta would become as prominent in this series as Vegeta ended up becoming.
Yeah,
but it's just when you talk about epic rivalries and the fight forever, it's Goku versus Vegeta, and just overall, I think just closing the chapter on Dragon Ball Super, I think it was a great way to close it out. I think the universe, the Tournament of Power, as Jeff said, it's been like fan service, as Justin said.
Yeah, they did it all for us.
It's doing it to sort of wash them out of whatever GT was, just out of there. But
it's a big apology. It's a big apology. Like I think I mentioned this to you guys. Like just me watching the show and having been a fan of this franchise for a minute, and I've had my ups and downs. I've hated this. Like I've been very negative on Dragon Ball before this. Like I felt as though with Z, like I wasted a big part of my life waiting for a lot of this shit, and then GT like wasted more of my life. So like,
not as much of your life, but it's still a portion.
Yeah, like and I think that's more the anger of just like not respecting, the GOAT, and I've come around to it where I'm just like, you know what, I've made my peace, and I think that's what Super was for me. It was making my peace with this franchise and this series, and accepting it into my heart again, because it's a good series, like. And when I go back to GT and I look at this, I'm like, this was Akira Toriyama saying, I am so sorry.
We got you.
What I did.
I think it was Toriyama a part of GT. He wasn't. I think.
I think he put. He
had something creative that had to do with it.
I know the character animations and the character designs weren't him. I know that because he didn't create Super Saiyan 4. That's why it never came back.
Yeah, Goku was my color.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I think that was really the main thing that people were just so outraged about GT, because Akira Toriyama wasn't behind like GT and everything. And we're gonna have this bigger like we got to have a whole episode about GT because it's
we can do that. I mean, people are gonna have to sit through it, absolutely, because GT had a handful of moments, if a handful, but it was not good.
Yeah,
it's dark. It's a dark show. It's really a dark show. There are kids being kidnapped and used for clones and experiments in this show.
Compared to the color that we all saw in Dragon Ball Z, and even Super. I think Super is just as much of it's like fan service, I think it's just a colorful show. It returns to it kind of being like a kid show, and it kind of like takes the inner kid within you and you embrace that. There's a lot of moments, but there's still a lot of moments that happen that are just like very, very real. But I want to, in terms of now that we're done with the Tournament of Power, Android 17 is the winner. You know, he's the MVP. I want to get into our entire thoughts of a whole on this tournament now.
Is he your MVP?
Is he my MVP? Yeah, he's pretty much my MVP.
Who's y'all's MVP of the tournament?
Oh man, I'll go Goku.
Okay,
I think Goku's a smart choice. Yeah,
I'll go Goku. I feel as though Vegeta had some meaningful, emotional moments here.
He did.
But I think as a whole, Super was a series that defined Vegeta's growth, and I don't think that we can just put it right into this arc. I feel like he had a stronger arc in Black, but I feel like here it was more like Vegeta, maybe in a way, looking at it like, damn, I might be too old for this shit.
Yeah. I think he was already thinking about that even before getting to the tournament himself. You know, I got a daughter on the way, bro. I'm not trying to do this.
Daughter's here. Can we go back to the fact that
I knew you were gonna bring this
give
up.
birth out of nowhere.
Let's talk about that. All right, so we're gonna what I want to talk about is us looking back on the Tournament of Power, because there's pros, there's cons. I mean, we've looked at it. Me and Jeff have looked at it over the last number of episodes over the last week. I would really love to get your take on this, Justin, as well, and we can now that we sort of looking at it with just everything that has happened, we're able to take everything into context and in its right context potentially, and really give a smart opinion on like what worked and what didn't work. And talk about it, Justin. One of the first moments we see in this entire arc is Whis like, I don't know, artificial like birth, like what is it?
Hey, but listen.
He touched her stomach with a stick and a baby came out, and I was
absolutely.
Like,
He's an angel. He's an angel. But listen. It's one thing. It comes full circle, because I guess Whis can also bring back people from the dead.
Yes,
because he brought Frieza back at the end. Like that was one thing that I noticed. I was like, wait a minute. So Beerus asked Whis to basically resurrect Frieza, but I'm just like, man, that's some damn power. Then, like, so you telling me that the angels have the power to bring people back from their hell?
And if that's the case, can we bring Raditz back?
Yo, man, I'm telling you, I just noticed that. I was like, wait a minute.
Raditz. Yes. Wait a minute. Raditz.
Hey,
Raditz
hold on. J5 has a
point.
J5 has a point. Raditz needs more. Raditz deserves more, man. He's Goku's brother, bro. Raditz deserves that.
Why can't Nappa come back? And let me be clear: are we going into the postmortem for the Tournament of Power yet?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. This is it.
Listen, I've always said this. Why not Cell? Why not Cell?
Episode. What episode?
You said episode.
Did I say?
It's bring back Cell.
Could have been Cell.
So here's my thing against Cell. Cell worked for that series. I don't know if he works so much outside of it.
I don't know his personality though, man. It was so.
He would have loved the competition.
Yes, bro.
If I think Cell is pretty much like another Saiyan. That's how I feel about it. Okay. I feel like Cell is just someone who thrives off that competition, and I think the cornerstones of that is just basically Vegeta and Goku, and I think bringing back Cell would be like introducing like a third evil Saiyan to the series.
Also, but I think just the dynamic of having the androids there and Cell and Gohan.
Hey, man.
He has so many branches in that team. He's killed like half of them, hasn't he? Like,
look, my MVP is Dr. Gero.
Wow.
I thought about it last night. I thought about it for a while. I couldn't wait to announce it today, but my MVP is Dr. Gero, man. Like, because just 17 alone, the things that he did in this tournament, blowing himself up and surviving. I'm like, man, this man, Dr. Gero, is just, he's the man. And he could have, like you said, easily we could have brought Cell in, and Cell would have made a difference.
Yeah, but there's also an issue with Cell when he absorbs people. Would they count that as a murder, or would they let that rock because they didn't technically die?
I don't know if he has the power to just absorb on will.
I'm assuming he does.
Perfect Cell, I don't know. His tail went all the way up in him.
That is true.
Yeah. Able to spit out kids,
but could he spit out Cell Juniors in the middle of the tournament?
That would be wild.
That's fair. It's not flying.
It's not flying. You're right.
Yo, it's not flying.
There were so many things in this arc where it was like, y'all are flying, like y'all are just jumping really long. That's
right.
Oh my god.
Cell would have worked though. I don't mind the Frieza, because obviously it's Frieza, and Frieza has a great personality and is a amazing villain. But I think Cell also has a dope personality. It could have worked just as well. And Gohan being there and 17 and 18 both being there, like that definitely would have been a lot of great jokes.
Can I tell you one of my cons in this entire time?
I have many, so go ahead.
I want to talk about, and it's near the end, and it's going to sound crazy because Android 17 is my MVP, but Android 17 surviving whatever he went through, to me, is further playing around that and I talked about this on a few episodes ago. We talked about this a few episodes ago with Two Belts, me and Carlos. It's just playing on further that death does not matter in this entire thing. Like
It's
death
plot
is
armor. It's literally plot armor. It's like Game of Thrones.
so Android 17, as cool as he is, blowing himself up, having that sacrifice, having that episode, make me miss him. Because I missed it. I was just like, damn. But having him survive and just pop up at the end, to me, I thought it was kind of like, in one way, I think they wanted to make it a satisfying ending, but didn't want to include Goku in it because maybe that was too predictable. Maybe that was too, and I think they didn't want to end on Frieza, so they pretty much brought back 17 to sort of be a buffer, so it wouldn't be a totally cheesy ending, and it wouldn't be a totally like one that's just leaves a lot of controversy. But I think Android 17 surviving continues to like make a mockery of death in this entire series to me.
Yeah, I agree, and it happened twice. It happened with Vegeta as well, when Vegeta blew himself up.
Vegeta blew himself up just like the Majin Vegeta, and he was
okay.
He made it.
That's cheap in that moment as well, because you call back to that great moment, and and you guys know like that's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z moments of all time. Vegeta's my favorite character from the series.
Yeah,
and he survives, and it's like, so you call back to that moment and make me say, okay, this is it. This is the big moment right here. And this move ain't never killed nobody. So like you already know.
I mean, to be fair, Whis and Beerus kind of did the same thing when they brought Frieza back, because Frieza wanted Goku to wish him back, and now that whole thing it's a wrap. So he's just back.
Yeah, it's crazy how
dying means nothing.
But I didn't have a bigger issue with that than I did, and I know I'm going to keep harping on this. That 4-episode stretch right after Goku goes Ultra Instinct, and he is struggling against Khalifa and what's the other girl's name? Kale.
Yeah.
Bro, the Kefla arc, the Kefla sub arc frustrated me to no end. It really did bring me down like a little bit. Like, I feel as though this arc ended stronger than Black did. I think Black was overrated. I think the Future Trunks arc was overrated. I think this was the best series in the whole this whole super era. But like that 4-episode arc, it made me scratch my head, because I don't even think, and I'm hoping that the when the dub comes out, it makes them better, more likable characters, because I did not like these characters at all. I didn't like the three of them at all.
So here's my take on why they managed to sort of even up against Goku, and I think it's the same reason why that Frieza and Android 17 at least had a fighting chance against Jiren. I think it's just basically because of how much stamina was used and how much stamina was lost, that they pretty much had a better opportunity, or at least a better chance of beating Goku. And luckily Goku has at least 8 different forms at this point, because the man Super Saiyan,
he can adjust.
They beat all of them. They beat all of his forms.
But
I like Clef as a fusion. I like the characters. I like Kale, and I like Cauliflower. That fight was it was a bit frustrating. I guess I understand what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I just feel like they have so much that they're probably planning for them. They just wanted to kind of give it a taste at the moment.
I think
we don't really know what they got.
They're as much of like, I don't want to say primitive, but they're kind of like whatever the early iterations of Saiyans were. And we've seen like Goku and Vegeta go through all this development and all these battles, but these 2 girls or 3 girls, or 2 girls and the guy, they just like fight. This is just like all they do is just like fight, and that's sort of the basis of their character, especially Khalifa.
They were designed with no muscles,
and
which is really weird. I noticed. I was like, that's so strange.
There's definitely some intrigue there. Like, I'm intrigued to find out, what they're about and where they go from here. I think that the way that they introduced them just wasn't the best way. It's like, and I get the stamina thing, but doesn't that didn't cheapen Ultra Instinct to you, or the aftermath of it a little bit, where it's like Goku actually touched Jiren, like he actually got a blow against him, and then the next episode he's about to get ringed out by these teenagers. Like,
I don't mind. I just feel like they're so focused on him mastering it. So like, because he didn't master it, really, like it's fine. He just wasn't ready quite yet. He didn't master it yet.
Yeah, I think that kick was a fluke on Jiren. I'm gonna say that kick was a fluke because it kind of makes no sense now in retrospect. Because to really be effective with your attacks, you really have to not think about it. So maybe in that moment he wasn't. I don't know.
Who knows?
No, I don't know. I really don't.
I mean, I'll find out when I read the manga because I'm sure they'll explain Ultra Instinct super in depth.
Jiren, I mean, I'm about to say Jiren. Jeff, yeah. What is there any issues that you had with this Tournament of Power? Something that you found like glaringly like this is wrong?
I mean, I don't, like I said, I'm just in anime in general. Like I love character development, and so being able to introduce a whole lot of characters, and putting them on the screen at the same time. Like, that's interesting to me, but at the same time, it's like you can give some guys really good designs. You can give some guys really bad designs. Some of the guys that have really bad designs have the best, character development, some nice story behind them that works. Like I like Topo.
You're talking about Topo.
I like his overall character more than Jiren. I'm not talking about from a design standpoint, but just like they showed him in the club at the bar, he was drinking up on the phone. He's kind of like, you can kind of at least see the type of man he is, right? You get a little bit of that. And then you have some characters where they just kind of give you, I just think there was a little too much going on sometimes. I didn't like so much as far as like the outside, but they made the tournament so huge and it could have been bigger. Like you said, there were some universes that weren't even represented.
Yeah. I agree with you there. It's like there were some characters that were cool. I didn't mind Ribrianne. What's her name?
Yeah, she's dope. I like that too.
Ribrianne's cool. That was a cool moment, but it's like you took away from them to give the Saiyans of the future more charm, and then you give them 4 episodes, but you give Jiren like a little 2-second.
Yeah, that makes me think that Jiren's probably not going to come back to the series for a minute. Like it's going to happen at some point. It may be when this next whatever it's going to be called comes back, and you may see him in the 3rd or 4th saga or something. But like I just feel like they're probably gonna. To me, it's all going to Universe 6. I think they're gonna push right over to Champa, like the Champa, and we'll get more Champa stuff. We'll go to Sadala. We'll see Vegeta. We'll see whoever their king is, and all that fun stuff, and why they don't have muscles, in their base designs.
That means more Hit. And can we talk about you notice we didn't talk about Hit?
Hit is a cooler Piccolo, man.
So in episode 4 of this, I made a mistake of completely forgetting that whenever Hit got eliminated. They did an entire episode
we didn't talk.
And I feel I ended up bringing it up after the fact because I completely forgot it. Like I literally went from Frieza and Goku's moment straight into the Kale Khalifa Goku moment.
Right.
And I completely forgot, and I was like, damn, that's a shame for Hit, man.
Put an S in front of his name, and you'll see how.
Yeah, I mean, Hit.
No, but I like Hit.
I like Hit too, but he's still a bit of a gimmick character. I mean,
his gimmick gets found out every single time.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about his gimmick gets found out on Fighters. So like, I'm gonna tell you, like, it works the same for me. That's kind of how I see Hit. My boy Eric, he loves Hit, and he tries to like really just sell me on him. I'm just like, dude, he's just Piccolo that hasn't trained Gohan yet.
Wow.
How about that? Don't be surprised if. That's Gohan's next journey. Gohan's gonna learn time skip, and he's gonna be a Hit fighter.
I think Hit was enticing me just in the beginning, just from the way his movements was. But as the entire series goes on, and as everything just sort of builds up, and as you get to see a lot more of everything in this tournament, it becomes more of a cheap parlor trick than an actual just fighting technique. Mm-hmm. He has this moment where he kills Goku in Super somehow, but even that, like, again with the death thing, like he kills Goku, but
Goku's back 20 minutes later, man.
Yeah, he threw up his, I guess his life force, whatever. Like he was like, leaning and rocking with it, and then he caught it, and and then that was it. But I felt bad because Hit, to me, I liked Hit, and I think Jiren literally only found Goku and Hit as the threats in this tournament.
I mean,
And
that's a fair song. I mean, Jiren definitely did not. I don't want to say fear, but he definitely noticed hit for whatever some reason. I mean,
he
I'm
was the only one who didn't have to change into some form or whatever, or didn't have to kind of get him when he was
he's
depleted
a skilled
to
fighter.
give
He's
him a
skilled.
run.
He's just skilled. But I
Did
mean,
Hit
he's
touch him?
not.
Did Hit touch Jiren? Did Hit touched
He
him,
did.
right?
He did. He got him. Yeah, I think he got him.
He got him once. All
Yeah,
he
he got him
needed
once.
was to get him once. All
That's
he
what he
needed was
said.
to get him once, just so he could enact his that technique that frees them, which I thought was sucked because I thought there's no way you're holding this man for the next 28 minutes in this tournament.
Yeah. No,
I was
he
like,
was
all
already
right.
walking forward. I was like, oh shit,
What
it's
a
over.
terrible plan! Like, what a terrible plan! You thought that was gonna work?
That was a stupid plan, and I think I even mentioned. I was like, "What did you think you were about to do there?" Like the smartest thing would have been to just have them fuck him up while he was frozen.
He's clearly not used to adversity when it comes to fighting against just somebody ridiculous.
And I think that's probably it.
What would you guys think about them moving some of these other universe people into Universe 7 and having new storylines from that?
So,
yeah, I know. I honestly, Hit's not going nowhere. That to me. I mean, and I think he's just a clear cut of a reoccurring guy. Frieza obviously as well, but I don't mind it, especially from a Universe 6 perspective. I don't mind Jiren and Toppo, but I think that has to be something that just happens later because I'm over Jiren in general at this moment.
Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, they're going to be bringing back probably guys that they just hinted on that we never got to talk about, like the whole
I think we're getting back the
situation.
Maidens of Love. I think as someone that's just like comic relief, it's comic relief. I think they're amazing at it. I think just their entire transformation and what they represent as like the satire of anime in general, just like female girly anime in general. I think we're gonna get those girls back because they stuck around for a while. Like
they had
at least Ribrianne. Ribrianne stuck
really
around for a while. Like everyone was just like, "Can we get her off now?" Like it can be.
I was tired of her too.
I want to see her in Majin Buu.
Oh my god!
Really get at it. Yeah, I wouldn't even mind her on Fighters. J5, what you think?
Fighters, that'd be dope. It'd be better than the fighters that they have coming up now. I mean, this week we're getting
Bardock and
Bardock. Then for the next season, you guys already saw what was about to happen in the next season, or you guys are But I think the Namco and Arxis they're taking it very slow because they're trying to milk as many seasons out of this as possible. But for the super representation, it's very slim as far as super representatives. But I think Jiren will show up pretty soon in the video game. I really would love to have an episode where we talk about the video game.
Yeah, and that Ranger 17 is a must. They should have dropped that last night.
But I
think if they were smart.
Oh my god, I don't know. Is it something where they can just like add those characters and then like a relative storyline in? Because I don't play games, so you know this.
The characters don't have a storyline. Yeah. They're added more for competitive purposes, for people to kind of have a reason to keep on playing them. That's where they come out every 3 months or so. But season with these characters coming out this week, that this will be the end of this season, and season 2 will probably follow around July, around Evo, the evolution tournament time, and they'll probably come out in the fall just to kind of give more incentive for people to play more of it. And I think if we were going to see Super in the video games, we'll see it next year. But like, who would it be? Like, you have so many people that you could add, like Ribrianne, of course, Toppo, of course, the Scooby Squad Saiyans, but actually, they're being added.
I'm about to say, I think it's going to be Cleffa to get, like, I think it's going to be Cleffa. They'll probably just skip Cauliflower and Kel as one and just do Cleffa the fusion. So.
Nah, they can't do that. Like
they will, dude.
They will.
Gotenks is on there right now, bro. They only
pick the strongest versions of the characters.
Right.
Wow.
So like there's a base Goku and a base Vegeta coming. But we also have Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, and Bardock and Black. Although Black he doesn't play nothing like Goku, but still.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the rumors right now, and it's going to be Taipon and Gogeta, Roshi and Videl with Great Saiyaman as her, kind of like her android.
I like Roshi. I'm glad Roshi's on it though.
Raditz and Zarbon, and Kaba and Kale with Khalifa.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
Be Kale with Khalifa.
Okay. So it's gonna be Kale with Khalifa.
Yeah, so it's gonna be kind of like
What's
Android
why I keep calling her Khalifa?
16,
Jesus.
not 16,
Call
Android 18. Say what?
Okay.
You think they would ever make a Smash Brothers game with the Tournament of Power concept?
I think Goku's gonna be in the new Smash.
Dude, that's my Goku needs to be on this Smash. It would be so ideal.
I think he's gonna be in it. I'm pretty sure he's. I'm 95% sure that like all signs are pointing to him showing up in that game in some way.
That would be amazing.
J5 says it here, so you know.
Listen, is there anything you guys really loved about this tournament? Just really, really love. It was like, oh my God.
Man. Okay, so I just love the representation of the androids. I love that they're still a factor. I love that even though Goku is obviously everybody's putting their hope into him, and you know Krillin's still Goku, and you know all the like it's still Goku's world, right? We're just living in it, but I like that they still shifted it kind of away from him. Even Ultra Instinct ended up not being enough. Like think about that for a minute. Like it still wasn't enough. So it still came down to teamwork, which is exactly what he thought it would come down to before he left for the tournament, right? So I enjoyed it overall. Besides the lots of characters that I thought just ended up getting pushed under the rug and we'll never see again. But yeah, it was a great way to end the show. I
think that I really enjoyed that everyone got a moment, and even underrepresented people like Krillin got a callback, and they got a moment to show that they weren't just jobbers. And I think that's something that Z, and to a greater extent GT, didn't really show, is that these characters are not just punks that sit around and cower for Goku to save them all the time. They're actually strong, and they're actually smart, and they know they're martial artists. They're great martial artists, and they were able to show that. But I think more than anything, I think Ultra Instinct is cool as shit. I think it's the coolest.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think I've always been against all the transformations. I know it's a staple, but like I don't like God. And
you don't like the Red God?
No, and I'm not a huge fan of Blue either, because I don't even know what's the difference. I don't even know what it does. Like
Super Saiyan. I have Super Saiyan Rose right over Instinct. But Instinct is definitely right after that. That's just me. It's just me.
So the red form is Super Saiyan Red, is what we call it, even though it's God. It's like the base form, and Super Saiyan Blue is like their Super Saiyan form of Super Saiyan God.
Right.
So it's kind of like when you like regular Goku and then you turn Super Saiyan, that's pretty much God to Blue.
I mean, but just in general, like Ultra Instinct is really dope, but I don't know, man. That appeal.
You think it's coming back?
Nah, probably not for a while at least. That's that little conversation that Goku and Vegeta had at the end. And Vegeta's like, "What happened to Ultra Instinct?" And Goku's kind of like, "I don't know, man. Shit only happened because I was in the tournament. It pushed me to the edge." I think it's probably gonna be when you see it. It may be against against Jiren again. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when they bring Jiren back. He'll probably push him to his limits again, but it's probably something they should let rock for a while. I wouldn't bring it back.
Gosh, I just like the development of everybody involved, and I like the development of Goku and Frieza. I like the fact that they had to work together. I like the development of, even though I thought Jiren was a new type of, because I think really all the villains were getting into the space, and I don't know how you go past Goku Black and Zamasu, who are both like ultra. One was immortal, one wasn't. Yeah,
man.
So
they were perfect, man.
I don't know. Nah, man. Come on. Like
they were perfect. Bro.
Even the way they beat them was just kind of like wonky.
Hey, man, Zeno had to pull up, man.
But I think it was more, where do you go from here with villains? So I think it was great we had a universe tournament, or just like, or at least a main, antagonist in this that was just like not completely a villain, just kind of misunderstood.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love the funness of it all. I love, the people like the homeboy whose suits change. I love that. I love Dr. Rhoda, who never really got a chance. The Dr. Pig thing.
Yeah.
It felt like Dragon Ball almost.
Yeah.
It had some moments like
that's
that.
just my favorite part of it. Like it felt fun again. Like
great relationships. I mean, they build the relationships to the point where you kind of feel like you're watching like a sitcom. Like you just like, but it's just Dragon Ball, and it's just like that makes it so much lovable.
And sort of watching it live, I remember just like watching it, and then me and Jeff would talk about it. Like we would be like, "Yo, I think Gohan is arguably the biggest disappointment of this entire series."
But I mean, listen, hold on.
Arguably.
Listen. I just think from a perspective of that's their fault though. They decided to try to. I thought they were teasing something completely fresh and new, that we were going to see Gohan reach some next pinnacle, and he didn't. But I don't know if he was. He wasn't that disappointing for me though.
This was like, okay, we're gonna give you a new brand, Coca-Cola, and it's like Coca-Cola Classic or like Coca-Cola Vanilla or whatever it is, some shitty version of Coca-Cola, like
Here's
Dr.
some more
Pepper.
Mystic. Yeah, here's some more Mystic.
Yeah,
Vanilla Mystic.
Yeah, it was just like I was like, he was by far the biggest disappointment in this series for them. But I think now I know.
He had some good moments. Y'all some haters.
What moment?
I mean, overall, or are you talking about just in this?
When he beat the Namekian dudes, like that was.
Don't even bring them up. Don't bring them up.
Any of them goobers could have beat them hood Namekians, man. Like,
so you're saying Gohan's quality of fighter, it doesn't work out.
He didn't beat anyone convincing.
Yeah. Okay, there you
go. He didn't even beat Frost. Like Frieza beat Frost.
That's like fair.
He beat the Hood Namekians. He beat Obani, like the Wakandan fighters from Universe 10. Like he beat no one of any sort of real like Android 18 and 18 had better moments than him, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, by far the most disappointing part of the series. Even Master Roshi, just looking at Master Roshi and be like, that man put in work.
Piccolo wasn't more disappointing to you?
Piccolo was
mad disappointing.
Piccolo is a babysitter who just showed up alongside Gohan because...
Hey, dog, listen, man.
They're a team, and it kind of works. But
Piccolo, bro. I was watching the last episode of GT the other day. And Goku, before Goku stopped off to, he was on Shenron, and Shenron was taking him somewhere, okay? And right, okay. So Goku was talking to Goku stopped in hell or wherever. Piccolo was in Underworld, and he was talking to him, and Piccolo was just like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" Blah blah. He shook Goku's hand. Piccolo's talking to him. Dude, that whole thing to me, like, I just feel like his character was never like, he didn't get no emotional attach. Like, it's just that the one part where he's like in Z where he's telling Gohan, you're like a son to me. I was like, man, ever since then, man, I understand Goku's not a great father, but that shit just rubbed me off the wrong way.
Because Namekians don't got no new forms, man. They ain't got no other forms, bro.
That's not your son, bro.
Namekians ain't got no new forms. That's why they ain't doing nothing with him. If Tien doesn't grow a fourth eye, like, he doesn't, like, and it's so shameful. It's so whack because I feel like they could have done things like Piccolo's a smart fighter. I don't see why they don't play off of that a little bit more. He's supposed to be one of the smartest fighters on there, and then he got kind of like eliminated in a very whack way. But
I just can't agree. I really just can't agree with Gohan being more disappointing than, say, the bunny nigga from Universe 11.
I had no expectations for all these schlubs. I had all the expectations in the world for Gohan to do something cool. Gohan should have been like the third guy on the totem pole. He's literally moved down. He
lasted for a really long time. Like, what are you talking about? You act like he got jobbed out first like Krillin.
Yeah, I mean, he was working, bro. He has some endurance out there.
Dispo lasts for a long time too. The man was just there.
But I mean, Jiren's not letting Dispo get. I mean, that wasn't. He was gonna stay no matter what.
My man, Jiren didn't give a damn about Dispo. If Dispo had left 3 episodes earlier, he'd have been like, and that's why this nigga we shouldn't have never brought him. Like, damn, I feel like Gohan's just a major disappointment because you expect him being.
I didn't expect that much from
him being a Saiyan in this series. You expect a little bit more.
You hate Gohan. I think you just hate Gohan.
Yo. I don't hate Gohan. I want to love Gohan. This is literally my thing with Big Sean too. I want to like
Wait a minute.
I want to like Big Sean.
Oh
but he's
god.
also Big Sean, and that's how I
I
feel. Like Gohan is the Big Sean of this series.
Wow. Hey man, to be honest, what made me stop liking Gohan was I just didn't care for his design after Teen. Like
Oh,
to
he's just
me,
some random guy.
I love Teen Gohan. I love what he looks in Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 form, but like I don't know. Maybe it was the hair, maybe it was his height. I
Because
don't know
he's
what
not
it
cool. He's not cool. He doesn't.
maybe, but I didn't mind the fact that he was like, ended up being everything that Chi-Chi wanted him to be. It was just he just wasn't cool to me anymore.
How
Because
about this?
go ahead.
How about sometimes your children aren't going to be what you thought they
Oh
were going to be?
God.
Oh
And
wow.
that's fine.
Well, it's Goku's fault. He wasn't around.
Wow. It's
I mean,
okay.
really,
Listen,
really.
Goten might not be the same either.
Listen,
But the only thing Goten's a little bit different because he hangs around Trunks.
and Goten in GT was out there, like he was on dates and shit.
Yeah,
He was
Goten
like,
was about the honeys. Yeah,
he
he was
was.
about honeys.
I
For real.
don't think that any of their sons until Goku Jr. are going to live up to that. I think they're all going to be pretty much the same, the same type of person. Because they have a center. Then Goku never had.
Yeah, I mean they're half Saiyans. They're half Saiyans too. I mean it ain't all in them. I mean Trunks is a different type of person to me, but that's only because from Vegeta is just you're talking about that's a dad of the year right there.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Gohan disappointed me. I'll just say that.
I just can't agree with it. But I think I love talking about this theory, right?
Go ahead.
Like, what is it?
During the Cell Saga and Z, like, and I've talked about these theories with you guys. Like, what if Goku never came back? Like, what if after Cell, like, it was Gohan's show?
It would have been doomed, man. We would have made it
been over.
It would have been a wrap.
Wow. It would have been over.
It would have been a wrap. He wasn't beating Boo.
Yeah,
he got washed by Boo.
It wasn't a chance. There was no chance.
Well,
If
actually,
Gohan
you know what?
if Gohan lost that center, I think he would have become Goku.
If at least that's how it is in that future Trunks shit.
Yeah.
But even then, he gets washed. Like my man gets his arm cut off, and then he dies.
At the end of the day,
he's not quite Goku.
Right, they're half Saiyans. They don't have all of it in them. Just is what it is.
But also,
I do have a theory that Bulma and Chi-Chi are Saiyans now, but that's a whole nother.
Wow,
that's a whole other thing.
They got so much Saiyan in them. So yeah,
that's a whole other thing. There was a joke. I don't know if you guys noticed that. You guys remember that episode? Piccolo was talking to. I think Piccolo was talking to Goku. And they were kind of joking about, I don't know if it was Chi-Chi who punched somebody or Bulma who punched somebody, but they kind of made a joke about it. I got to say, it's amazing, bro. I think they have some Saiyan blood in them now because they've been giving birth to Saiyans for so long.
It wouldn't surprise me. Listen, that was episode 131. That was the final episode of Dragon Ball Super. Amazing. Yeah, amazing episode though. It's a good way to end. I felt
I'm all right with it ending right now. Dude.
I've watched it 3 times. I've watched it 3 times. I think
Super started in like what 2014 or 15.
It started in 15. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's been a while. I think this is fine for me. It's perfect timing. It can go. The movie will be here in no time. The game will keep people busy as well. Of course,
Listen, if we don't get a new DB series by next fall, then they're severely fucking up.
No, that's when you'll expect it. That's when you'll expect it. I'm sure, bro.
Next fall? I'm trying to think like January, baby. Come on.
Listen.
Wait till next fall.
Listen, you guys already know how this works, okay? The movie is gonna be the first saga. You guys are. I mean, they're gonna do the same shit they did this last time. So whatever this movie ends up being,
I thought that was for budget cuts.
expect that to be a part of the first saga. So they're gonna make sure they do.
I thought the movies were the first sagas because they probably was just like, we're not trying to put this much money into Dragon Ball because in like before this Tournament of Power saga, it wasn't really as popping as it should have been. Like
people jumped on.
Power brought it back.
It did bring it back. I think Black himself helped just because of what that was. But yeah, it really turned.
They were probably understaffed. They were probably understaffed. That's why all the artwork looks like crap. Until
that old animation was just terrible, dude.
Bad.
So
but
where do you guys rank Super of the three?
I have
Super
Super as the
or
best series.
ooh,
I do. I have Super over Z right now.
Why?
um,
What?
I'm going
I
to
do.
say I'm gonna put just Z over. I want to say Z. It's not that much over than Super. To me, Super is very, very good.
Yeah,
Like
I have Super.
very,
I have
very
Super right
good.
above it. I do have Super right above it.
Like
And obviously
succinct,
GT's
the
at the bottom.
callbacks, the battles, the fighting sequence, everything. But Z, I think there was so much more. I'm a story person. There's so much more development and everything. But damn, the stories in Super were good,
Yeah, I
man.
don't mind. I don't mind filler. I don't mind filler. I watch a good bit of anime, so you deal with that. But like for me, filler has to mean something, and Z had a lot of filler that meant absolutely nothing. I thought Super's filler had some fun stuff. The one episode that was completely like has nothing to do with anything was when they brought that other character from that other anime into it because it's technically in the same universe. But that was like everything else. The fillers, I don't mind the fillers in
I
fighters.
couldn't,
Jesus.
man. I couldn't do the suit. I couldn't do the filler here, and I couldn't do the filler in Z either. I think I judge it off of nostalgia. I think,
Yes,
and I think
that's tough once you do that.
Super Super definitely touches the nostalgia bones
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. I think with the callbacks, with like I can't put that over Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation, or when he finally beats Vegeta, or when he finally beats when he he tells Frieza like I hope you come back as something better next time. You know what
But
I'm saying?
man,
Like
like
I'm
putting
not
them
not,
watching.
not Frieza, Boo. It was Boo.
No, I hear you. I'm watching Z over now, and like,
but putting
man,
them side to side, like literally side to side, like there's similar feelings with Z and Super. There's that feeling about the first time Ultra Instinct that I probably compare to the first time Super Saiyan. I mean, I was a kid then, I'm an adult
But it
now,
was
so
against a better villain. That was against a better villain though. Like I feel like Ultra Instinct was kind of wasted, man.
but also there's also just like the stories and all these. I mean, I don't know, man.
I got Super a little bit over. I really do, man. I mean, but I don't. Z is always gonna have a place in my heart. It's kind of like when you ask me about Pokemon Generation One, and I still have to be honest about it, like, but I may feel a certain type of way about a different type of generation, but I don't want to like overshadow my childhood by that. Because if I
Yeah,
did that, if I went off nostalgia, then man, I mean, I love when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2. I thought it was like the most powerful moment. I mean, for
Top
me,
10 moment.
bro, like, I mean, I'm just like, yo, this is amazing. Like, he's a kid, but like, you remember those type of things. But this Super shit, man, I mean, Black, I loved. It's all about character development, bro. I've been saying it all episode, man. Like,
you know what? I'm probably gonna give the nudge to Z just because I felt like in Z they handled, but I think what brings down the average of Z to me sometimes is just like everything after Cell, and just how the Blue Saga to me doesn't really hold up. How the amount of episodes in the Frieza saga is just insanely long.
these are
Like
facts.
it's so
It took about 3 years.
we
It's
took,
something else.
bruh, it's so long.
Got me through my preteens, my teenage years.
But
Man.
the Saiyan saga, all that shit before the Saiyans actually showed up, like the stuff that was just so unnecessary. Super just says, hey, we're keeping this in a succinct thing. Everything kind of matters, except that purple Vegeta shit. But I mean, that kind of mattered. If
it kind of mattered, bro. It might have been silly, but it had a purpose.
there was I think the thread between that's when you see Bulma starting to develop the little serum for the time machine in that little arc. But and that says like everything matters. Like, oh my
God. I know. I'm just favorite character in Super J5.
Favorite new character or new character or
just character. Favorite character.
I thought that favorite new character, just specifically new, never seen.
I mean, no, it could be any character. Who's your favorite character in the series of Super?
Of Super, it can't be Goku. We can't say Goku. We can't.
I mean, you say whatever you want. I'm not saying Goku, so he's not my favorite in this one. But
I think Goku is a stronger character in this series than he was in Z. I'll say that much.
That's facts. I'm with that. I'm with you on that.
I think he was better written, but I
Was
think
he your favorite? Was he your favorite character?
my favorite character would probably have to be. This is going to be really controversial. It's probably going to be Frieza.
Okay.
Ooh,
I
Okay.
think Frieza was written, and I look at this like it's like wrestling, yo. Like
you
it's
asshole.
like what?
Because I was gonna pick Frieza.
Well, it's obviously Frieza, dude. Like it's this is someone who he redeemed himself, but even at the end, he's still going to be who he's going to be. And I think he's the only
Right.
character in the show that he is proud of who he is, and I think
Right.
that's why he's.
Frieza's getting now what Vegeta got in Z.
Yeah, basically.
But if I don't know if I want to see Frieza, riding around, learning to drive,
Get him a girlfriend, man.
picking up groceries, all this other shit. I don't know if I want that.
Nah, Frieza went right back into space, gathered his army, and was like, "Look who's back."
I think next thing we get a little arc of Frieza. Frieza gets his ass whooped by somebody that is not Goku or Vegeta, and then he goes to Goku and Vegeta for help. And I think you start seeing the little molding of like, okay, Frieza's becoming a Z fighter.
Well, I think the only reason Beerus brought him back was so Frieza keep his mouth shut about blowing up Planet Vegeta. That's one. And my favorite character of the series is Beerus. I just loved how he ended. I loved how, at first he kind of gives this whole thing, well, this ain't my battle. I don't care what happens here. Or, it doesn't matter to me. Just feed me, blah, blah, blah. And then he gains all this respect for everybody throughout the tournament. And I'm curious that, how he plays out when everybody's back. Like, everybody's back at Earth. The universes are back. Like, how does he still treat them? Does he go back to they're just underneath me? Or does he keep his I'm proud of you? And I just feel like at first, it was more of like, okay, Beerus is the new antagonist, but he's basically he's part of the family at this point. So I just loved how he ended up turning out.
I like it. So now the question is, where does the Lookout go from here? Because we've done all the Tournament of Power episode. This is the finale of the Tournament of Power. This is the finale of Super. So now we're trying to figure out what the frig are we doing?
Man,
I kind of
me and you we discussed it. I think we need to talk about Black and that Trunks, and it's a bit confusing, like to even really understand, just because of like the back and forth and just Trunks in general. I mean, that stuff needs to be talked about.
Justin, if there's anything you would like to hear, what would you want to possibly hear?
I would really love for you guys to go back in time. You got to go back in time. You got to do Kai.
Kai? Oh, we're just gonna speed things up. It's gonna be like 2 episodes on the entire Z saga. But man, I feel like I don't know how we're gonna choose the next topic. I don't know if we do polls. I don't know if we choose them and just announce them. I don't know.
Maybe you let people choose the episode and then you guys review the episode. That'd be dope.
That would be nice.
Huh?
It's the Lookout, so you look out on everything, and it's like you and then you provide the context of everything. You could probably say what the manga was doing, and at the exact same time, and where it differs from the actual TV show, and then give some backstory into how it was made and stuff like that. So it's a little research heavy, but I think you can do it.
Yeah, it's definitely something we can do.
Episode by episode, though, is so crazy because
not episode by episode. You should do it definitely like
an arc, a saga.
Yeah, arc saga. Yeah. And that would mean that I'm pretty sure the first time you guys ever do this, people are going to ask you to do GT. I just want to see you guys.
Look, we'll make GT sound fucking cool.
I don't know about that. I can't.
We can do it, Meelz. We can do it, bro.
Listen, here's the thing about me. I'm a kid. I'm a giant kid.
Yeah, well,
GT
welcome to my world too, man.
GT is void of color and like kid and like soul.
Hey, man.
Like all
I'm used to stuff like that, bro. You can run that. If I sat through
Vegeta has a mustache. Cool. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what abomination that was.
He's evil again.
It's okay, man. I don't mind them looking older and looking like they've been through it. It's just
they look ragged. I don't know.
We can do it, bro.
I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to make people look.
Goku
older.
was light skinned. Goku Goku was light skinned, bro.
He's
Like
your
he had
complexion,
a
bro.
legit brown tan, bro. I
He's
was like,
legit your complexion.
he really is, dude. He really
Oh
is.
my god! I know
It's crazy.
Ben wanted us to do like a starter kit.
I talked to Ben last night. I got him going. He's going. We got him
All
going.
right, we got to do, but maybe we should think of doing a starter kit as well. Like someone that's just like, all right, if you haven't watched Z, here's what to look out for. I don't know.
Ben told me that he had not seen anything Dragon Ball related ever.
This is crazy.
So I hit him up. We talked last night. I got him some information. So that's definitely something that I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in. So,
well, listen.
I definitely think because I already have a list of episodes and arcs I want you guys to talk about. So hopefully the Lookout doesn't die. Hashtag the Lookout never dies.
Listen, the Lookout will never die unless it comes up against Majin Buu, who destroys it. But you know what? Dende still lived. But I think there'll be more with time, and time will come. I think, as I said with this podcast in the beginning, it's not going to be like every other podcast. This isn't going to be a weekly one. We're going to develop amazing content and put it out. And I think everyone's going to enjoy it. The time is. And I think we'll give an announcement of what we plan to do when we plan to do it. It's going to be fun, though. Yeah. It's going to be fun. Justin, thank you for coming through and blessing us, on this
podcast.
You guys got me back into it just from your conversations and your tweets and stuff like that. And I'm all that.
More successful than us trying to get him back into Pokemon.
Well, that's a whole nother stretch. Well, you know what? He's got a Switch. Let them announce this Switch game for PlayStation, and hopefully.
Wait a minute, I got into Pokemon. I just didn't enjoy Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon is garbage to me.
I didn't enjoy Ultra Sun and Moon. Listen, so it's okay, man. These things happen.
You got back into the wrong gen, man.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's facts. You
got back in the wrong
time.
But even the last, you know what? That's another podcast.
Yeah, no, don't even. That's not. That's gonna make me upset. So.
Oh my god. This has been The Lookout, episode 6. We'll be back. The story doesn't end. It's not ending like Super. This is not ending. We'll come back. We'll talk movie talk. We'll talk movies. We'll talk movies. We'll talk episodes. We'll talk arcs. We'll talk everything.
Listen, they should call it Dragon Ball Universe or Dragon Ball U. I'm out.
Drop the mic, my friend. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.